This is News You Can Use.
Recession. What is a recession? The common understanding has always been that a recession is a significant, pervasive, persistent decline in economic activity. How do we know when we're in a recession? Conventional wisdom has always been that a recession is identified when there are 2 consecutive quarters of decline in gross domestic product. That's when all of the cash registers are rung up in America. That's GDP, gross domestic product. When that declines 2 quarters in a row, generally speaking, you have a recession. Guess what? We've already hit the standard. In the first quarter of 2022, the U.S. economy was constricted, shrunk by 1.6%. Last quarter, the second quarter of this year, the economy, it shrunk again by 0.9%. So naturally, we found a way to fix the problem instantly. Change the definition of recession. With unemployment rates at 3.5%, many economists and politicians are moving the goalpost just a bit when it comes to labeling the overall status of our nation's economic engine. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen recently went on record saying, when you're creating almost 400,000 jobs in a month, which we are, that is not a recession. Whatever you label it, there is no denying that the U.S. economy has indeed weakened after an amazing post-COVID run, an unprecedented run. Whatever we call it, that is what we're experiencing. Everyone's facing the increased challenges of inflation and an uncertain economy going forward. No industry has felt the effects of those challenges as dramatically or quickly as the real estate and housing finance industries, our business. Our industry started 2022 with a record number of housing sales, a seasonally adjusted number of 6.4 million units. That number has dropped every month this year, with July numbers indicating a seasonally adjusted number of 4.81 million units, nearly a 2 million unit decrease in just 6 months. No matter what anyone wants to say, we are indeed in a housing recession. The mortgage industry, it just might be in a depression with massive layoffs impacting almost every mortgage provider, except one. Gary Keller recently commented on the state of the housing industry. I would say this is the most confusing, quote, market I've ever seen in my entire 40 years history in the industry. It's confusing, and it's only confusing because you have mixed signals, he said. Normally, you would expect all the signals to aim in one direction, and that's simply not what's happened. It is indeed confusing. So what are we going to do about it? Essentially, we have 2 choices. One is natural, and one is unnatural. The natural response, complain. There's less opportunity. There's more competition. I have to work harder. The Fed is moving too slowly. The Fed is moving too quickly, etc. Just complaining. Complaining accomplishes nothing. Well, that's not actually true. Scientists and doctors have confirmed over and over again that complaining actually shrinks your brain. So if you want a smaller brain, complain. And it makes you, less smart. It also makes the people around you less smart. Now, if you really love and care for the people around you, why would you do something that makes them less smart? Complaining, however, is natural when we don't get what we want and don't like the circumstance, but it's not best. Our other choice, the unnatural choice, the one that is the road that the best always take, is to respond heroically to our current challenges. Better, faster speed of service, better service overall, be nicer, more phone calls, outbound calls, work on self-improvement. Take this season, look in the mirror and say, what have I not been doing because I was so busy in the last season that I can now do to hone my skills professionally so I can be better in service from my customer. In this season, where there is less activity, we all have a choice to make. We can use the extra time to complain and blame, or we can use the time to become better service professionals. Hashtag best. At Supreme, we choose the latter, and we've made improvements in every key metric of our business this year. We're faster, we're more efficient, and we're nicer than we were just a year ago. And we have the data and the facts to prove it. When we choose the latter path, the unnatural path, we're better positioned to benefit even more when market conditions improve. And guess what? They will. We'll be ready. Will you? This is News You Can Use.